Well, Abby, I think definitely want to start asking you. Certainly, besides being a great sports drama, over the course of those 8 episodes, what you realize is it's really a coming out story for two queer women in this very too difficult time period. Tell me about bringing that narrative to the show and really investing in those characters that way.
Yeah, I mean, the film is like an iconic gay film, but like no one's gay, and maybe they are, but like you just like don't know what's really going on, but you like feel that. And I think a lot of queer people feel a connection to that film. And I think when Will and I set out to do it, we were, always about expanding this lens and really showcasing a generation of women playing baseball, and also really showcasing the queer stories that were not told in the film. And, Max and Carson are really the hinge of this show. And we sort of ping pong back and forth between these two worlds. And, they're going through very different journeys on the field. Carson's has an opportunity and the door opens for her, and that door closes, and she is sort of on her own path to find her team on the field. But part of finding your team is also your career as a queer person, is your queer community. And so that's really the link. Besides their love of baseball, like their queerness is really the link that these two characters have. And for a bit, they are really like the queer community they found. Like they can only talk about this here. And then we're sort of seeing them both sort of get their minds blown by the fact that the world is way bigger than they thought it was, and that they're not so alone, and there are others like them. And that was so exciting to do that side by side in very similar and different ways. And yeah, that was always one of that's just like one of the most incredible parts of the show, I think.
Yeah, Chanté, for you, I mean, certainly the thing for Max's journey, she winds up dealing with her own gender. Tell me about that aspect of it, playing that part, telling that kind of story.
I think, for Max, it's kind of, her journey is about finding out who she is. And she is trying to, before she figures that out or she gets a sense of an idea, she's trying to be what everyone else wants her to be. Whether it's what, the woman that her mother wants her to be, the daughter that her mother wants her to be, or then eventually when her Uncle Bertie comes into her life and her Uncle Bertie decides, you're like me. And Max is like, okay, well, let me, dip my toe over there. But in the end, we have this beautiful story that's actually told through costuming by Tracy Gigi Field, who did an amazing job of Max taking a little piece of both of those worlds and creating who she is. And that was, I think, really pivotal to her story and to her journey.
Abby, I was curious if we were going to get There's No Crying in Baseball scene. You made us wait till episode 5, but we did get it. Tell me about it. Did you consider leaving that out, or did you always know you were going to include it somewhere?
I think it was like always on a card. And I get quoted that line from the movie all the time now. I'm like, but it's so iconic. And I think that if it was always a thought, but if we did it, we wanted to do it in a very different way, the same way we treat the coach character very differently. And so, yeah, once we found it, it felt really right to do it in the way we did it. Like a lot of the nods to the film, I think we tried to do it in a little bit of a different way.
Right. Did you always know you wanted to be the one crying? Was that your choice?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't. Yeah.
It just worked out that way.
It just worked out that way. Yeah.